Hello and welcome back to Premier League Primetime. We are here to give you, similar to what the Manchester United Tottenham preview was, this time we're looking at Manchester United and Chelsea. I'm here with Jose. How are you doing, buddy?
Great. How are you?
I'm all good. And of course, we have the man himself returning. Um, if for the viewers that saw episode 2, we have Mr. Robertson. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me again.
Always a pleasure. All right, so let's get right into this. So Manchester United and Chelsea. And I think, of course, that's the biggest game of the weekend. Robertson, starting with you. Just looking at Chelsea, what do you think is important for them to do ahead of this huge, massive game against Manchester United at the weekend? What does Lampard need to do to make sure they're tactically ready? Maybe does he need to change personnel? Does he need to do something mentality-wise? Walk me through what you're thinking as a Chelsea fan here.
Well, I have two thoughts. I think our defense, each defender needs like a sex scandal. Their mistresses need to get leaked because Aaron Picasso, I'm going to tell you, that man was incredible. That was some of the best football I've seen in a minute. Locked down Neymar and Mbappe. But realistically, that's not going to happen. Their defense is in shambles is like the issue. Mendy's solid, and Ben Chilwell, I feel, is the only consistent defender in there. Like, you saw Thiago's first game back in the Premier League just gets eaten upon. And Thiago, the Premier League is a different animal. It's competitive, it's fast, and look just like how well Rashford played against the finalists for the UCL last year. So I'm pretty concerned that either Christensen or Zuma or Rudiger, they're just going to get ripped a new one. So, but also Havertz and all these big signings are just disappointing. I don't know what's happening. You spend all the money. This isn't FIFA Manager. I saw this meme and it was Lampard's managing like it's FIFA Manager. He just buys all the young players with a bunch of potential and thinks he's going to win. That's not happening. They're just playing poorly. And I had hopes that they would maybe bounce back and get Sevilla, but Sevilla just proved to be too much. And if they're struggling against Sevilla in the group stages, they're really going to struggle against big Premier League teams, and they're going to struggle in the round of 16 too. So,
yeah, I think what you said there sums it perfectly. Thiago Silva. I've had a lot of Chelsea fans giving me a lot of sticks saying, David C can cut it. People forget about so many older players that would just come to the Premier League thinking that they can make it, but they ended up not doing so. Just keeping up with fitness or whatnot. Thiago Silva already making a mistake on his debut. That's a little worrying. I feel a little bit bad for Rudiger. I think Lampard has frozen him out. I'm not sure why. I think honestly he is a decent defender. I don't know why he's being frozen out. And as I've mentioned several times on this show in the past, that duo of Zuma and Christensen just does not work. It will never work. I don't know why Lampard still does it anyways. I don't know why he doesn't bring Tomori into the picture. I think Tomori is better than either of them. I think Zuma can be okay at times. Okay. I don't know why on earth Christensen is still there. Maybe it's a sentimental thing, kind of why Jesse Lingard is still here. Young kid coming through the academy graduate. Let's not forget that. I think they sorely missed out on buying a center back. I think if Chelsea had gone out and actually bought a center back with their money, I think they would definitely be a lot closer to being title challengers. And Robertson, question for you. Do you think Lampard will continue to rely on his favorite kid, Mason Mount, to continue to bang in the goals for Chelsea or get more assists?
All I'm going to say is at least he's not Gareth Southgate. That agenda against Jack Grealish over Mason Mount, that's unheard of. But
it's both of them. It's both Southgate and Lampard. They both.
I just feel Mount is a good player, and he's shown
there's nothing wrong with him.
his loan spell in the Netherlands was an example of that. He was like
And a Derby too.
19. Yeah. He's a good player, but like when you have players like Conte in the midfield, you have Pulisic, Havertz, like Warner, you have all these people who are better than Mason Mount in every single way.
What's happening with Ziyech? Is he gonna be fit for this game?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I just based on predictions, I think he probably will be. I mean, as a United fan, I hope he isn't, because that's just another thorn for us.
I can kind of understand why they're playing Mount if Ziyech is not fit, but if Ziyech is fit, I see no place for Mason Mount in this team.
Yeah, 100%.
Mount is good, but like Chelsea talks about how they're trying to like be contenders for both titles in Europe and England, and Mason Mount has no business being in the starting 11 on a title contending team. Like that's just
you're absolutely right. Yeah, Chelsea contenders for Europe. Yeah, I'll just pretend those words didn't come out of anyone's mouth. Honestly, Manchester United are probably more of a contender for the Champions League than Chelsea are. Honestly,
I'm gonna say this. I don't think any teams coming out of England this year are going to be contenders for this Champions League.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think that Virgil, unless if they bring in Koulibaly or Upamecano or something like that, Liverpool are nowhere near that Champions League. We clearly saw they had to put Fabinho at center back with Joe Gomez. I don't know what's going on with Matip. He's probably injured again. But this isn't a preview for Liverpool or City. This is all about Chelsea, Manchester United, and Jose, going over to you. Same thing I asked Robertson in the initial question. What do we need to do? Looking at the past two games, we're red hot in form at the moment. Two brilliant results: 4-1 against Newcastle and taking a massive win over PSG. Solskjaer doing it again in Paris, and Rashford doing it again in Paris as well. And just looking at these two results and looking at the players that we have, or the players that have shown, what does Manchester United need to do mentality-wise, personnel-wise, and tactically in order to be prepared for the game this Saturday?
Well, I think as Robertson pointed out, I think we need to use our momentum. We need to try to use our pace to beat their defense. Because if they play people like Thiago Silva or Christensen or even Zuma, they don't have a lot of pace, and our forwards do, like Rashford, and even Bruno. Bruno would be good against them as well. So I think it's just important for us to try to exploit their fairly slow defense and their out of form defense also.
What about personnel or tactically? Because as we've seen for the past three times, there's been a lot of talk that Manchester United will resume this 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. And we've used it the past 3 times, and it was clearly evident in the FA Cup semifinal last year that Lampard isn't thick. The one thing I will say, Lampard is not a thick person. He very easily figured out where that weak point was, which was at the wing backs, Wan-Bissaka, and I think it was Brandon Williams who was playing at the time. And I have a friend who, for whatever reason, he just doesn't like Brandon Williams. I don't know why. I'm very confused by that. But yeah. He was right to point out he was poor. So was Wan-Bissaka, but Lampard just figured it out. And do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will go with this 3 at the back, with now Cavani in the picture and Anto out? Do you think he'll go with the front two of Rashford and Cavani? Do you think he'll just go back to 4-2-3-1? And looking at that midfield, does Van de Beek play? Do you keep McTominay, Fred? Do you bring Pogba into the picture? Matic? What do you think is going to go on there?
Well, I think I'd actually like to see the 5 at the back again. I think it worked really well against PSG, and it can work really well when we play well. Even though it didn't against Chelsea in the semifinal last year. I think I would prefer if Cavani didn't start, because I think we need players with more pace like Greenwood and Rashford. I think they could start up top in a 2, and then behind them I'd probably go with Bruno, and then behind that I'd go with Pogba. I'd probably go Pogba, McTominay, and Fred because it worked well. Pogba came on and did well against. Or I'm sorry, only 2 people can go there. So Pogba and probably Fred. And then at the back, I'd go with Telles and Wan-Bissaka as the as the fullbacks, and then the same three defenders that started against PSG. I would want to play.
So and two big players that I want to ask about. First off, does Harry Maguire get back in this team?
If he's fit, then I'd say yes, he could come in and replace Lindelof.
And also Donny van de Beek. Do you think he deserves a chance to start?
He definitely does deserve a chance to start, but I don't know if he can, considering the formation that we're playing, and because I think Paul Pogba came on and did well against PSG, I think Ole will favor him.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I fear that might be our downfall. That Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will continue to pick his favorites, as I said before, with Scott McTominay and Fred. That's something that just bothers me personally. Whether it's an agenda against Fred, I don't think he's an agenda against Fred, but so many times it'll be Fred and McTominay in midfield, and McTominay will clearly have a poor game, and Fred will be very good, and I'll take off Fred, and we'll keep McTominay on. This something I never really understood, and it's very most likely due to just favoritism and who he trusts and stuff like that. Anyways, Robertson, going over to you. If you were Frank Lampard, right? What would your starting 11 and your formation be, and what do you think Lampard will do?
Well, if I had my way, Mendy in goal. I just think Kepa is just egregious.
We all love Kepa. Kepa's pretty good.
I feel for the man. Like, none of us I think what's important to say before anything is, with like Kepa and Harry Maguire and Lingard and all these players, is like we like to laugh at their form, but they're still world-class athletes. Like, they're the best of the best. They're the top. They're the cream of the crop for athletes. And like, people don't understand that. Sure, they're memes, but like, they're excellent. Like, if we tried to play with them, like, the gap would be so drastic. But at the same time, if Chelsea is shelling out $80 million for someone, you expect results. Like, Kepa in top 6 leagues across Europe ranked like close to the bottom for save percentage, like 50% shots saved that he faced. That's egregious. Like, Peter Cech saves something like 85 or 90. Like, that just shows like the levels. Like, when you're paying that kind of money, there's an expectation that you're going to produce results. So, but then have Mendy start. Mendy's been playing well. I hope.
You sure you don't want Kepa?
Yeah,
that's pretty good, man.
What about Peter Cech in goal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's gonna be on the roster too.
What I don't understand is, this is like an age-old dilemma. Is when players get older, they're not as good as they were, and you're seeing that, like Ivanovic coming back to the Premier League. You see like Cavani.
He's playing for West Brom. To be fair, he's not coming back to Chelsea or any top flight team at all. He's going to West Brom.
Still compete at the Premier League level, and there's very, he said that. That's what he said when that was like his justification for coming back. Like, and that's the thing, is all these players, like, granted, like, they're world-class athletes and they know what's up, but like, it's just a changing game. Like, look, I don't think Cavani's going to do too well here. Like look what happened to Higuain. Like, all these players.
Oh, that's different.
Once they hit their 30s,
different players.
They're totally different players, to be honest with you.
But it's the same thing. Once you hit your 30s, your body breaks down. Like, Ronaldo and Zlatan are like these weird cases where they're just like superhuman and they get better as time goes on. But in most cases, as time passes, your body breaks down. So I just don't see why you would even include Peter Cech in a lineup. Like, he's older. He's aging. Like, it happens. It's natural. He played at the highest level for as long as his body could take it, and just putting him in there is just unnecessary risk, in my opinion.
What about Buffon in his 40s?
Buffon, he doesn't even start. He's not even a starter.
Well, what about, you could say the same thing for Willy Caballero, even though he's like a third choice. But honestly, if they're desperate, Chelsea.
Just Kepa. The thing is, Kepa needs confidence too, because if you look at like the old clips of Kepa, like, Kepa was raw. Like,
I thought Bowie was really good. And
so that's the thing.
To sign Kepa, it was. I don't think Chelsea really scouted him. I think they were just going off of a short list of potential goalkeepers, because Thibaut Courtois left, pretty late in the window. And at the time, Maurizio Sarri is like, oh crud, we need to bring in a goalkeeper. Let's get up a short list. And then, Kepas came up and his release clause, like 70 million pounds. All right, yeah, we'll activate it. I mean, and of course, Bilbao just had no idea, and Kepa said, yeah, I want to leave. So at the time, it was just kind of like a habitual thing. I guess you could say a reactionary thing. Yeah, but anyways, continuing with your starting 11, I want to hear your starting 11, Robert, what you would do, and then I want to hear what you think Lampard would do.
So here, I'm gonna get out a pen and papers because it helps me visualize it. So I'm gonna say this: keeper Mendy, big fan. He has potential. I want Chilwell.
Okay.
Because in my opinion, Chilwell he's like what was it? Against Crystal Palace, he had a goal and an assist. His corners are good. He's a physical defender. He's quick. Like, even in playing for Leicester, like, solid player. I'm going to say...
What formation do you think you will use?
Probably a 4... I don't know. I need to think.
3-1.
Yeah.
4-2-3-1.
It helps me when I write it out. So let me do it. So Chilwell, Zuma... I think, like, that's the thing with Zuma is, like, he's either 50-50. And, like my favorite video of Zuma is, like, he becomes Messi against Ajax and, like, dribbles up the field, like, does the scissors, like, covers, like, some serious ground. It's, like, pretty impressive. And then he just gets
That's like Bailly. Have you seen those videos of Bailly, like, rouletting past, like Mohamed Salah?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And the tragedy of Eric Bailly, it's I love Eric Bailly. I think he can be an absolutely rock solid center back at times, but he's just Eric Bailly, and I heard someone say it this morning, and I 100% agree. Eric Bailly is just a really, really good Phil Jones because he's so injury prone all the time. He's actually a decent player, unlike Phil Jones, but he's just injured all the time, and he goes all along the Phil Jones cycle too, which is really painful because us United fans, we know how good he can be sometimes. I know some people think he's clumsy, which he can be at times, but yeah, I rate Bailly, man. I do, but not as a starter, but as a squad player, definitely.
All right,
You're 11.
So Chilwell, Zuma, and then Thiago. Like, what I read this interesting article. It's actually pretty funny. Is Caesar's talking about how they all speak in French in the back line except Ben Chilwell because, like, he doesn't speak French, and it's like it was a meme. But I just think it's interesting. So, like, Thiago in there, and obviously Caesar. Like, Caesar's like a leader in my opinion.
Cesar Azpilicueta, yeah.
Yeah. I also just, like, dude's kind of a baller. Like, he's older, but, like, he balls up pretty hard. And then
He's probably better defensively than
Reece James. Yeah, I'd say so.
Reece James, I feel like in the coming years is gonna, like, he's gonna grow as a player more. But, like,
Frank loves him though. Frank loves him. He's played him in all the major games so far this season. Do you think it'll be Azpilicueta, or for you, would you do Azpilicueta or Reece James?
I feel like in this game you need experience. So, like, Thiago and Caesar, and then the way I would do it is you have Conte is holding mid. Because, like, dude is a little beast. Like, man can run.
Oh yeah. We all know about the quality of Conte, and alongside it, would it be Kovacic? Would it be the Italian Mark Noble?
Honestly, like, I don't really get why you hate on Jorginho so much. Like,
I like Jorginho also.
Well, he is the Italian Mark Noble. That's literally what he is.
He's filthy good. Like, his penalties, like.
Oh, come on.
I rate Jorginho as well.
He's a good player. And then I think Havertz needs to be playing at 10. Like, if you play Havertz at a 10 and then you have a front three of Ziyech, Warner, and Pulisic, that is, like, you just, like, that's what Chelsea fans want. And I'm confused why Lampard isn't doing that.
Wait, who did you say you would put alongside Conte?
So, Conte, Italian Mark Noble, and Havertz at the 10.
All right. And now tell me, what do you think Frank Lampard will do?
Honestly, this is like my big dislike towards this Chelsea side is it's so fluid. Like, part of their issue is, like, you have, like, 3 guys coming in who are new to the team.
Well, you know
Like,
Mason Mount's going to be starting. Well, 100%. You
I
already know he'll be in that starting 11.
I don't want him to be in that starting 11.
Well, seeing it's Frank Lampard, Robertson, it's okay. You already know it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen that he will be in that starting 11.
I just feel that in order for Chelsea to like really get the experience they need to one, like the Havertz, Ziyech, Warner, Pulisic, they all need to start meshing together, and that's the same with like Chilwell and Thiago and Mendy, because like they have so much potential, but like they have so many new players on this team compared to last year. And like everyone, like I'm getting really sick and tired of this whole like Frank Lampard is all this. Like, dude's a mediocre manager at best. Like,
Yeah, thank you.
he's
You don't think he's very good?
Well, no, it's just like, but the thing is when people say that Frank Lampard is miles better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I sit and say, wait, hold on a minute. For the times that we played Chelsea, Ole beat them opening day of the season. We knocked them out of the Carabao Cup. Okay, it's the Carabao Cup, but still, we beat them again in the league, and yeah, we lost them in the FA Cup semifinal. I mean,
Yeah, but Ole spent 130 million in the summer, and Frank spent 0 in the summer. So.
But now Frank has spent 200 and something million, and his defense is arguably worse than ours. Arguably.
We're relatively the same amount of points in the league, so.
yeah, that's
we'll
the
see this
thing.
coming Sunday. I mean,
It's
Saturday.
also way too early to like really see what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Like what?
It's too early, definitely too early to make just incredibly bold predictions and stuff like that. But yeah, continuing on where we were though. Looking at Frank Lampard, what do you think will be starting 11?
Probably Mendy in goal, Chilwell. I can't even like maybe Rudiger or Zuma.
Rudiger, that's interesting.
I don't know. Who knows? Like this man just floats people just because he can. Like that's the thing. Like if you want to like build a relationship with these players, you need to have stability. And like they're all like fighting for their positions, which is good. But if you have a constant fight, people just aren't like that. Like part of being a team is like you need to know like to work together. And like that's why you need to like have like Mount out of this lineup as like soon as possible. Like you need Ziyech in there. Like you need him to get experience. You need him to work with Pulisic, Havertz. Like it needs to be done. And also like Conte and like maybe start phasing in like getting rid of like Corino or something. I don't know. It's just there's so many lineups have happened. Like it's just confusing. Like he played a 4-2-2-2. Like what is that? Like he changes the lineup like every week. Like what are you doing? I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm disappointed. Like if you spend this much money, I expect results. Like as a fan, like you expect results. Like it's black and white. Like you have the players, you have the potential. They just can't perform. And part of that is he's not focusing on defense. He's just like it's like there's a meme. It's like a horse, and the front of the horse is super well drawn, and the back of the horse is just like 2 sticks. And that's Chelsea's team.
Mm-hmm.
And like Frank is over there.
I agree. I think he definitely needs to play a definite starting 11 because he has so many new players. They need to get to know each other more, how they play.
Yeah, definitely. Both of you said it perfectly. Chelsea want to do well this season, and I think that's the one thing that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does do well. He definitely does keep a consistent starting 11. So chemistry never really is too much of a problem. But yeah, with Chelsea, I've seen so many different Chelsea sides. It's just, yeah, I mean, he's never been consistent long term with one sort of, set 11 with some rotational players. I've never really seen it. Like, the only real consistent I do see is Mason Mount. And yeah, and knowing Frank, his boy Mason Mount will always be in that team. Honestly, Chelsea could buy Mbappe, and the starting spot could be Mbappe or Mason Mount, and Frank Lampard would be like, oh, of course, Mason Mount, 100%. Quality, he's class. But yeah. Robertson, continuing with your defense, you said it was Chilwell. You said Christensen and Zuma, or
no, Thiago and Zuma, and then having probably Reece James, because I don't know why he starts Reece James in big games, but he does. And then Conte, Italian Mark Noble, having he probably do Havertz, and then having Warner and Pulisic, and then Mason Mount. But who knows? Like this man, when I saw like the 4-2-2-2, I had no idea what that was. Like I was shocked.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just not sure what's gonna happen. And like I mean, like I love surprises. Like that's what makes like watching games great. But like I can't even accurately tell you like a good prediction. Like I could not.
Yeah. And for all Chelsea fans, I'm sure you're probably feeling what Robertson's feeling. Loving surprises, but not knowing or expecting what's coming your way. Anyways, Jose, moving to us. And I'll start with your input. What would your starting 11 be? And what do you think Ollie will do?
So my starting 11 would be a 5-2-1-2, and it would be De Gea in goal. He played really well against PSG, so I'm definitely
Definitely
happy to
deserves a
have him in
start.
goal. Right wing back Wan-Bissaka. Right center back Axel.
Rock solid Tuanzebe. Mbappe and Neymar were found in both of their pockets. PSG yet again fail on the big occasion. What a surprise!
And then central center back, I'd go with Maguire. I'm not sure if he's fit, but if he is, he definitely.
Would you give him the captaincy back?
No, definitely not. But I think Ole will. Left center back Luke Shaw. Left wing back Tellez, definitely. I think he played really well in his debut yesterday.
Okay.
The two more holding midfielders, I'd go with Pogba and Fred. Fred was definitely man of the match against PSG. He was
excellent.
brilliant.
He was like the Fred of old, the Fred before lockdown.
Yeah.
Superb performance from Fred.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'd go with Pogba just because he made a really big influence when he came on against PSG, and I think he is eager to impress right now because after he was dropped.
And he looks motivated. He definitely does look motivated. I mean, I hope he stays.
Motivated than he did in any of the other
I hope he
games.
stays and signs a new contract. But yeah, he definitely looks motivated, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. And then just above them, I go obviously with Bruno. Has to be him. Hopefully he'll captain us, but I don't know if he will if Maguire plays. And then up front, I'd love to see Mason and Rashford, but I'm not sure if Mason is. I don't know what's going on with Mason right now, so I'm not sure.
Me neither. In the press conference, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that it actually was not for disciplinary issues, and he said that he thought he had a slight niggle, and he didn't want to. And yeah, that's verbatim. And he said he didn't want to take any risks with Mason. And we all know how good of a player he can be and how important he definitely is to the side. And what do you think Ollie's thinking?
It's hard to predict. Usually Ole does the same thing, but he doesn't have Martial this time, so that changes the system a bit. I could see Pogba staying on the bench and him going with McTominay and Fred again because he likes to use them to try to control the midfield more. And then I could see Lindelof replacing Maguire if he isn't fit.
All right. But everything else stays the same?
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, over to me. I will give my input of what Ollie's thinking, and I'll give my own 11. For my own 11, first off, as you said, David De Gea goes straight in goal for me. Superb against PSG. For me, I don't want to go with that 3-5 or that 3-4-1-2 or 5-2-1-2, whatever you want to call it. Lampard, as I said earlier, Lampard isn't thick, and he's figured that out. From the FA Cup semifinal, he already knows how to tactically beat us when we play that formation. He played it 3 times, and yes, we did do well against PSG. But let's face it, if you only played that formation against PSG, it was because we didn't have the personnel to play the preferred. And Ollie was in a sense kind of scared playing that formation. I definitely thought that was the right thing to do. Clearly was. But yeah, for me, I think he should go back to. Whether it's a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, he should definitely go back to that. Right back, Wan-Bissaka, AWB, Kylian Mbappe's father, his worst nightmare. Right back. Perfect, brilliant performance. It was like Wan-Bissaka before lockdown. Definitely loved it. Center backs. Now, this is where it gets interesting. the thing is, Twanzebe and Lindelof, neither of them deserve to be dropped. But for me, to bring a little more normality to the side, I would bring back Harry Maguire. And I would definitely keep Axel in. There's absolutely zero need to drop him. We've already seen what Maguire and Bailly's like. Doesn't work. Maguire and Lindelof does not work. Lindelof and Bailly can be okay, but I remember there were a couple games last season where Maguire and Twanzebe played, and Twanzebe was very, very close to picking up that starting spot with Harry Maguire, and then of course he got injured. I think in the Arsenal game, I think. But yeah, I would go with Harry Maguire and Axel Twanzebe. At left back, as much as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer loves Luke Shaw, we brought in Alex Telles for a reason. Not only competition, but I think he definitely is an upgrade. We clearly saw it against PSG. The man can take corners. The man took penalties for Porto. This guy has quality balls into the box. And yeah, he's and unlike Alberto Moreno, he can actually go forward, and he's very good on defense. So yeah, Alex Telles goes straight in. Two in midfield. I really don't get all the hype with McTominay. I like Scott McTominay. I really do like the lad, but really, as some people said he was good, but I thought he was so against PSG. Neymar sat him down time after time after time again. He definitely made a good tackle though on Neymar, getting that yellow card because he was in on goal. But yeah, that's one of the things that Ole needs to stop doing. Fred keeps his place, but I put Van de Beek or Pogba. Either one would work for me. And then the three up ahead, I would go with Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, and then I would strike Tarzan, aka Edison Cavani up front. I think this is the perfect game to give him his debut. But if that doesn't work, maybe you pair him in a two. Maybe you go Rashford and Cavani, and you compact that midfield. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. For Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he'll go back to the 4-2-3-1. I think it will be David De Gea in goal. He'll go, and I think he's just going to go back to Lindelof and Maguire. Wan-Bissaka, he's going to play Luke Shaw. He'll probably go either Pogba and McTominay or McTominay Fred. People are going to call me crazy, but I think he might pick Dan James for this game. He might pick Dan James because of Chelsea's unbelievably slow defense. I think there could be a chance he could pick Dan James, but I don't really think so. But there's always that chance. But I do think he'll pick Mason Greenwood probably. He'll probably go Greenwood. I think he might go with Mata. Maybe even Mata, possibly. If he doesn't want to start Cavani, I think it could be Mason, Marcus Rashford, or Bruno Fernandes, and Mata as that attacking four. Maybe, who knows? I'm not exactly sure what Ole's thinking. Yeah, that's personally what I think. Jose, do you agree?
Well, I think he's gonna go back to the five at the back. I could see that happening. It'd be interesting to see Greenwood in a central role because I mean he's been on the right for so long now. Hopefully he can get a central role and do well there.
I mean he's not playing Igalo. I mean it
hope
clearly shows. I mean I feel sorry for Igalo, but I mean if you're playing Rashford through the middle, I mean that really says something because Rashford through the middle on his own, we all know what that's like. We all saw at the beginning of last season, and that just never goes well. For me, he works. You either put him wide on the left or you put him in a front two, like he did against PSG. Anyways, now getting into the probably the most entertaining segment of the night, combined 11s. And for people who don't know what combined 11 is, I watched the Manchester United and Tottenham preview. That should give you a pretty good explanation. But for people who just aren't, for the viewers who are just way too lazy. I'll give a quick and brief explanation. We take the players from both sides and we make the best 11 of both teams going off of form. All right. You guys ready to make this combined 11?
Yes.
All right. So what formation are we saying? 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1 sounds the best because it's what we both use most often.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. In goal, Kepa.
De Gea had a good game.
I couldn't even keep it straight first when I said that, but yeah.
De Gea had an excellent game, which like really surprised me. Like he had that save against Mbappe. I was like, how did
He's had a good season so far. He hasn't made any errors yet.
So I would definitely say De Gea.
Yeah, and yeah, even that Tottenham game, to be honest with you, as poor as we were, maybe two of the goals definitely were De Gea's fault. But I mean, to be honest with you, those goals weren't his fault. It was just crap defending. But yeah, but David De Gea, I'll nominate him. I mean, Mondi really hasn't played enough games for me, just to even give him a place. So I mean, it'd really be between Kepa and De Gea. And to shut all Chelsea fans up to keep saying that Kepa is better than De Gea, or even putting those two in the same sentence, David De Gea goes into the starting 11. I'm sorry, but Kepa is nowhere near David De Gea. Yeah, David De Gea in goal.
Yeah, we can agree.
All right, right back. Jose, do you think we take right back, or should we give him?
I think we do because of the last two games. I think we have to.
I mean, Wan-Bissaka scored, and yeah, PSG. That's one of the best games I've ever seen him play for us.
Yeah. Man had in his pocket a pregnancy test, some Plan B, Mbappe,
yeah,
DUI ticket.
Pockets were full.
And Neymar.
Yeah, that man balled out. Like based off current form, I would say
Did you see the one that amazed me was when Mbappe was literally clean through our defense and out of nowhere Wan-Bissaka comes slide tackle
Spider-Man
perfectly.
That's why they call him Spider-Man. He has long legs and you can't catch him.
I just don't know how. Like, why isn't he starting for the national team at this point?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Because Kieran Trippier is better, of course. Kieran Trippier is better than Wan-Bissaka.
He had one good free kick in 2018, and now he's cemented in that.
He had one good. No, to be fair, he had a good World Cup, but other than that following year with Tottenham, he wasn't that great. I know if Andre watches this, it'll probably tear us a new one later. But yeah, I have no idea why he gets picked.
On current form, absolutely.
Maitland Niles is getting called up, and I'm sorry, Sears, but as good as he's been, he's not part of the Wan-Bissaka. He just really isn't. And Bukayo Saka. I mean, come on. Gareth Southgate could not be any more biased.
The issue I think for Wan-Bissaka is that in the England team, there's
so many good right backs as well for England. There's so many.
But also, there's not really room for a proper defensive right back because you've got they play five at the back, so you have three center backs, and then you have one. The wing back is supposed to be more attacking, so that's why it's perfect for players like Trent.
Yeah, but it's perfectly evident when Wan-Bissaka is perfectly capable of doing it. We saw it against PSG, Man City last year, Chelsea last year too. There are times where we've seen it, but yeah, Wan-Bissaka goes into that starting 11. Center backs. I would love to put Tuanzebe, but one game is not enough for form, as amazing as he was. But we're going off of just general form. So like past two games, and unless if you guys want to put Tuanzebe in, I'm opposed to that only because he's only played one game.
Who would you put in Robertson from Chelsea?
Well, that's the issue with Chelsea's center backs is
with us.
Don't you dare say Christensen.
Yeah,
don't you even think about it.
I would say probably
Tomori. Honestly, if Tomori's been your best center back, yeah. I'm not even joking. The man's barely played, but yeah, I'd take him over Zuma or maybe even over Rudiger. Honestly,
I would think personally, like Thiago is like he's been playing well. Like he's the best thing we got.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's not even that good.
Yeah, I guess.
Before Newcastle, our center defense wasn't that great either.
Yeah.
Considering the fact how we got annihilated 6-1, it didn't really go well for us. So what are we saying, sir? Saying Thiago Silva is one center back, and I guess
I would argue Luke Shaw for the other spot.
Ooh, that's but
he got unlucky with the own goal against Newcastle, but other than that, I think he had a good game, and he played well against.
He's played one game at center back.
Not his fault at all. he tried to clear it and he got unlucky. But I would take Luke Shaw because like
Okay.
you can't put Christensen, you can't put Lindelof. Maguire's been egregious. You can't put Zuma. Just
Maguire actually had a good game against Newcastle, but of course it's one game.
Yeah, we
It's
can't
one
go.
game. I mean, I don't think Lindelof was great, but I mean he's the center back who's played just most overall so far. I mean, in the 2 games he's played most. So what are you two saying? I'm just not even sure who to go with. So what are you saying?
Luke Shaw, Thiago Silva.
Luke Shaw?
It's fun. That this back line would get ripped a new one. Don't get me wrong. It's fun.
Other than Wan-Bissaka, yeah, that center back pairing would get torn a new one. But all right, well, viewers, if we haven't gotten crazy enough, Luke Shaw is our second center back alongside Thiago Silva, and left back. Now this is an interesting one. Yes, Robertson. Yeah, we probably will go Ben Chilwell, but I'll put out there. You still have Alex Telles. You still have.
I'm a Farmers. Honestly, he's good, but like there's just a gap between the Premier League and the Portuguese league. Like,
well, Bruno Fernandes.
I think that Alex Telles will show that he's better than Chilwell soon.
In time, but
at the moment,
he's played one game. He's played one game.
Chilwell is filthy good. He has good hair. Like he's kind of, like, don't get me wrong. Like, Alex Telles, like, dude's a baller. Like, I like his penalties. Like, dude can shoot. I'll give you that. But like
Marcos Alonso.
I'm just convinced. I love players who come from Leicester. Like, I don't know. Like, Leicester's just like one of those teams that you just can't hate. And like Ben Chilwell is just like one of those guys. So like Ben Chilwell for me.
I'd put in Ben Chilwell as well. Although even though I think Telles will prove better than Chilwell soon, but
we will find out. I'm willing to put money on it.
All right. I just want to say, shout out to one of my friends. If I were to put Brandon Williams out there for as a suggestion, I would be absolutely torn a new one if you were here. No, I think Marcos Alonso is the best. Nah, just jokes. Ben Chilwell, and Marcos Alonso and Emerson, they're world class, but they're not good enough for Chelsea. And going into that 2 midfield, now this is actually where I think it's going to get difficult. This is actually where it gets difficult because Manchester United, Pogba's in great form. Fred, I think, takes one of the spots. He's had 2 fantastic games. Robertson, don't even at me right now. Fred has been better than Conte in the past 2 games. Don't even at me right now. Jose, viewers, and am I being biased? I'm not even being biased here. In the past 2 games.
I think he's been better than Conte in the past 2 games. No, he's nowhere near Conte.
What you're smoking? Because I want some.
In the past
Conte
2 games.
and Fred, Conte playing average is like Fred playing good. That's like the thing.
That's really disrespectful to Fred.
Conte is a World Cup winner. Premier League winner.
No, of course. Conte's way better than Fred, but in the past.
Oh, yeah. But this is on form. If this were just on ability,
this is form, and
this is for one of the spots. This is for one spot. This is for one spot, Robertson.
I'm fine.
Conte will probably get the other spot. But I'm just saying. Fred for me goes over Pogba, goes over Van de Beek, goes over Matic, goes over McTominay.
I'd probably go with Fred and Conte both for the midfield.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that Conte is in this lineup because
Robertson, don't you worry, N'Golo will be in the lineup.
Excellent.
Don't worry, Robertson.
I will concede to Fred because I haven't been following Manchester's midfield very
even though Conte will probably leave relatively soon. Yeah.
Those are actually lies. I researched
just jokes.
Fake news.
Just jokes.
Fake
Robertson.
News.
Just jokes. Yeah. So our 2 midfielders, Conte and Fred, nice and defensive. Perfect for the Jose Mourinho derby. Nice and 2 big top class central defensive midfielders. All right, going to that 3. Thank goodness Frank Lampard isn't here because he would probably clone Mason Mount 4 times and would stick him in all 4 positions if you were here. No, Mason Mount's getting near the starting 11. Anthony Martial. I know he can't play, but should we just? Can he be included or no? I'm just asking. I don't know.
his
All right,
shot
all right,
on
cool.
goal is an own goal. You can't even. He's out of the contest, dude.
All right. All right. So for all the viewers that love Anto, and as absolutely fantastic as Anto is, he won't be making the combined 11. Anto is like her son, but yeah, he will not be in this combined 11. Yeah. Let's start off with the left-hand side.
Has to be Rashford.
Yeah.
I can see that. Dude's kind of a pimp. Let's just be real. Like he's taken bodies on and off the pitch. Like he bodied that politician today. Like bodied him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and quick thing from all of us here at Premier League Primetime. Congratulations to Marcus Rashford. Man should already have his knighthood. Queen Elizabeth, give him his knighthood. The man deserves it for all he's done. A quality man, brilliant guy off the pitch. He's absolutely deserved, and for all the success and what he gets in his life, well deserved, man. Absolutely deserves it. And Manchester born and bred. Man United fans will love this guy forever. Yeah, he goes in that side without any questions. Going to that right-hand side. What are we saying? I mean, and both of us don't really. I mean,
This is
you
probably
can't say Ziyech. You cannot say Ziyech.
No.
Mans has played like not even a half of a game.
He's he's like one of my idols, I would say. Captain America, boy wonder, Christian Pulisic, but I don't know. I feel like that's a stretch.
I just don't know who else we would take in right mid.
Maybe Kai Havertz. I mean, he's played there. And
that's
Kai Havertz has looked decent too.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
He's had a good season too. He's been playing well.
Yeah, I mean dude, I'm gonna tell you, I was watching that Southampton game and he tried to dribble and he turned it over and they scored. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, don't dribble towards your goal. Like that is like the basic rule they teach you when you first start playing soccer. It's like don't kick it into your ball and like don't dribble towards your own goal. And he did that. I was like, bro, come on. But like, I mean, he's a fine right mid, but he's like Havertz playing like on the wing and Havertz playing at the 10 are just two different players in my opinion. But,
oh yeah, 100%. But if you look at Manchester United's wings, for me, Jadon Sancho, makes me want to cry. Gotta love our owners. Props to them. A special shout out from Premier League Primetime to the Glazers for potentially completely screwing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over. Yeah, so bravo to you. Anyways, Jadon Sancho would have been the person to put in that starting line, but of course he's not here. We really don't have many options on the wing, whether it's James or Mata or Greenwood, Lingard, or wait, can't Mason Mount play on that side?
Oh yeah, he'd be great.
Oh no, does he go into this lineup? Because you need a space for Bruno. You need a space for Bruno. Bruno's or would you put Havertz? Robertson's up to you.
Havertz on the right.
Havertz.
Yeah.
All right. Havertz on the right. Bruno Fernandes through the middle.
You can't even argue it at this. Like, dude, like he's like really annoying. Like how many penalties he scores, but dude.
Oh my gosh, put some respect on the guy's name. Yes. Okay. Honestly, what? Okay. Honestly, what I'll say to all the people who say Bruno Fernandes, it's really simple. And Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United. It's really simple. Just don't foul our players in the box. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. And for Navas, don't come off your line. I mean, literally, David De Gea, it was the exact same thing against Crystal Palace. Yeah, I was pissed, but then I looked back and I saw him and said, okay, you know what? Fair play. Navas came off his line, and of course, already had a million people messaging me. Bruno Fernandes is on it again. Manchester United. Yeah. Just don't foul players in the box. I mean, coming from me and Jose, yeah, please keep doing it so that we can score more goals. But yeah, it's really simple. And if you know how to defend properly, you wouldn't be fouling our players in the box. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes at the 10. Up front, Odi and Nagalo.
Yeah, I think I can make an argument for him.
Yeah, Nagalo. What are you saying, Robertson?
Timo.
You sure about Nagalo?
Timo Werner had his second goal against Southampton both his goals were great, but
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was a really nice
that
goal.
second goal against Southampton was so dirty. He pops it up over
I
his head.
don't know, man. Nagalo's pretty good. I mean, like, did you see that goal Nagalo scored last year against Lask? I mean, what a goal that was. Against a really good team too.
I always see this meme, and it's like United Trey is always tweeting it, and it's like, this is the hardest photo ever, and it's like Martial like running off after scoring against Lask. I'm like, and it's like this is cold blooded. I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like,
bro, Martial has ice in his veins, bro. Like, honestly,
like,
people need to put some respect on his name.
Where is that? Like, where is Lask? Like, where is that team from?
Poland.
Yeah, so he's hard because he's scoring against some team in Poland. Like, nah, get that out of here. Like, I can't. And the best comment, he's like, yo, Martial scored a goal against Juventus. That is the best comment on that post.
Wait, what? Wait,
because
when did Anthony Martial score against Juventus?
So the last jerseys looks like Juve jerseys.
Oh
right?
oh yeah.
And he's like, yo, he scored against Juventus.
I honestly can't even. Timo Werner. So both of you agree? Yeah, Timo Werner for me goes in. Yeah. All right, so there you have it. We'll restate our combined 11. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Managers. And it's got to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the past 2 games. If we're looking at form, Robertson, Ole goes in. I'm sorry, but
here, I'm just gonna read you some numbers real quick.
Look, I think Lampard the better manager as well, but I think on current form it has to be Ole.
All right. So.
Oh, here we go.
So, let's see. The number 8 versus the number 15. What do those numbers mean to you, fine gentlemen?
The number 8 to the number 15.
The number 8 is where Chelsea is currently sitting in the league. 15th is where United is sitting.
Yeah, but we're looking at current form. Like
current form. Current form is the past.
Can you just point out that Chelsea have played 5 games, we played 4. So if we win our other game, we'll actually go to 9 points and be ahead of you.
Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. I don't.
Against
all I'm gonna say is, listen, Brighton should have against Brighton. That was egregious. Egregious. The whistle was blown, and they somehow weaseled away with some points.
It was a penalty, and VAR must have said something, and maybe the ref didn't hear it, and when the ref blew the final whistle, and maybe VAR said, hey, you completely missed something huge. You need to go check on it. And the ref, probably checked on it, and he saw it, and he said, oh, it's a penalty.
VAR is turning our beautiful sport into American football. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. When the fat lady sings, the game is over. That's how it should be. Brighton was robbed.
Hey, what do the numbers 3-3 represent to you, Robertson?
All I'm gonna say is this: Lampard, better form. I'll fight for Frank. He might be disappointing the crap out of me, but like Ole, just because Ole is pulling off some real magic right now, doesn't mean his form for 2 games is not. I don't think that's an indicator. Because let's not forget the 6-1 thrashing that they experienced. It was 5-1 at half. 4-1, 5-1. That's recent form. That's in like the past week.
But that was against an absolutely top-class Spurs team. Let's keep that in mind.
I'm surprised you put the words Spurs and top class in the same sentence.
They are no. I said no. I'm simply saying that in that game, Spurs were top class. That's why I said a top class Spurs team on that day.
Harry Maguire tackled Luke Shaw in that game. He tackled him with 2 hands. He was marking his own player.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm for Oli, but
I'll
I
go
want to hear
rock,
for you
paper,
too.
scissors for it. Rock, paper,
I'll
scissors for it.
I'll hear from you too.
Rock, paper, scissors, Jose, for the Lampard. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock,
Yep.
paper, scissors. I honestly, screw it. You could just have them.
Well, well, for now we'll take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but for the viewers, leave your comments down in the description below. Who would you choose as a manager, Frank Lampard or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? And we've reached the end of our video and the end of the show. But before we end it, I'll just quickly restate the combined 11. So we're playing a 4-2-3-1. In goal, we have David De Gea. At right back, we have Mr. Spider-Man, AWB, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. At center back, we have Thiago Silva and Luke Shaw. At left back, we have Marcos Alonso. Ben Chilwell. At central defense, as our two CDMs, we have the second-rate N'Golo Kante and Mr. Fredinho. On the left, we have Marcus Rashford. On the right, we have Kai Havertz. Through the middle, through the 10, we have Bruno Fernandes. And up front, we have Timo Werner. And no place for Mason Mount. Does that sound good to you two?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, we have now reached the end of our combined 11. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, smash a like on this video. And if you have really enjoyed Robbo, smash a like on this video. Give him the love he needs. Robbo, fantastic as always. And if you like our channel, please subscribe. If you want to keep in touch with us on Instagram, follow us at PL Primetime. It's been a show has flown by. It's been an absolute pleasure. Anything else to say from you two?
We'll see the better team this weekend. That's all I'm gonna say.
What about you, Jose?
I have same thing for me.
Yep. We will definitely see who the better team is. Well, wherever you are in the world, thank you for watching, and have a great day and/or evening.